Hey guys, Tom again here in the Velocity showroom. A really special walk around video for you today. We have a 72 K10. These are the newest addition to our Chevrolet lineup, and you'll have seen a few of these before, but unfortunately, fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, we've built actually quite a few of these now, but they've all immediately gone to customers. They've been custom built for customers. And so the last one that we had, I think, was an orange and white one that I put in the showroom. That truck sold within about 2 weeks of putting it in the showroom. And so this finally is another in-stock K10 that I specified to come in here in the showroom. And this one, as you can see, is pretty cool. It's got two-tone paint and stuff like that. Anyway, we're gonna get into it today. We're gonna walk around as if you were here with me, talk to you all about the details on what makes this truck so special. All right, so let's cover the paint and the front end of this truck. Let's start with the paint. Really amazing paint job. It's a piano black finish, so gloss black on top and lower down. And black is hard to do. It's a really hard color to do, whether it's a metallic or a gloss, because of its mirror finish-like properties. Every single discrepancy in the paint can appear on a black truck. And the guys have done an amazing job getting this thing, like I said, mirrored finish. So it's piano black on top. And then what's also difficult is satin or matte paint. On this one, we did satin black. We don't normally offer it, but you'll see down the side of the truck in that middle section, there's just a slight different texture, and that's a satin black to go with that gloss black. It breaks up the truck really nicely, but and looks kind of mean. It's really unique, very, very special. So those were the paint colors. In terms of the front end on this truck, yes, it's a 72 K10, so it shares that same sort of grille setup as our K5s. It's really nice, chrome elements all the way through. Of course, you've got the chrome grille, the chrome bumper, the chrome headlight surrounds. These are Holley Retro Bright headlights. They are an LED headlight, but they look like the old halogen lamp, which is really cool. Old school look, but modern technology. That's kind of what Velocity does. And then, of course, you do have the Chevy blue ribbon as well. Of course, we weren't going to mess with that. It looks fantastic. That's the front end. Very, very simple, but looks mean, looks aggressive. Really nice looking truck. Next, we're going to walk down the side of the truck, and we'll start with the wheels. These are the US Mags Scottsdale wheel. Now, we have a couple of different options on K10, Heritage Series K10 trucks like this one. You can do more of a spoke design wheel or a dished wheel like this. And my personal preference is these wheels, these rims. I think they look great. I think they look very classic, finished in chrome, just like a piece of jewelry. Going down the side of the truck then, you're gonna notice other chrome accoutrements. One of those is the Chevy badge on the side. Of course, that has to be there, OE style badge. And then the trim itself, I mentioned a minute ago, split trim. There are a couple of different options that you can do on these Chevy trucks in terms of the side trim. And the colors that you can select. For this one, we call it the middle trim, and it's really simple, right? It just puts the off-tone color, the secondary color, in the middle, right? Whereas if you do like a lower trim, it comes up to here, there's no upper trim, and the secondary paint color just goes down the bottom. So you got a couple of different choices if you were to build your own. As I mentioned, it's a Heritage, so it's got loads of upgrades, more on the inside when we get there, but we do have billet parts all the way through this truck. So billet door handles, billet side mirrors. They look great, but they also function better, less vibration, and this door handle is much more durable than an OEM door handle, which is really cool. All right, we're now around the rear of the vehicle, talk you through the tailgate. Very similar to the front end, really. Quite simple setup. You are going to notice, again, that two-tonality with the satin black there in the middle. Obviously, it's a Chevrolet, so it has to have that Chevrolet badging at the back. Matching rear chrome bumper that matches the one on the front, too. And I am going to talk to you quickly about the billet backup tailgate camera provision that we've made. I talk about this a lot. It's made of billet aluminum. It feels great to use, very functional. Let me use it now and show you the back of the truck bed really quickly. And so what we did on this K10 is we wrapped a line the entire inside of that bed so that you can actually use it without worrying too much about scratching stuff. That said, we went ahead and painted the back of the tailgate and the sides of the bed just to give it a little bit more of a showy look. You are going to notice also that on the left-hand side as you're looking, there is a gas cap, and that gas cap is actually where you're going to fill the truck now. So we move the fuel tank backwards, and that's where you fill it. So when you pull up to the station, you lower the tailgate down and fill from there, which is really nice. So let's move from the exterior now onto the interior. Let's start by walking through the door panel. This is black leather, so the entire inside of the truck is black leather, which is nice. It smells amazing. I know you can't smell it through the camera. Feels really nice as well. This door panel is completely custom, designed by us, developed in-house. So it's not something that's just bought off the shelf, and it's designed specifically for the Chevrolet product. So it looks really, really good. It has on there some billet components too to match the exterior ones, like this is the door handle release, whatever you want to call it. And then this is the electronic window regulator. It looks like you should manually wind it, but actually it's a switch. You are going to also see this wooden inlay, and that's in a couple of different areas on the inside. That looks fantastic. It's been dropped into the door panel, again, because it's a proprietary design, just makes that sort of multiple texture thing start to come to play. Right, I'm going to get in the truck now, made easier by that big side step that comes down. So these are a fully powered side step. They're on a little pin here in the door, and if you were to shut the door, up they disappear, so they don't ruin the look of the truck while you're driving, but then when you open the door they come down, makes it easy to get in and get out. So in front of me then is the first thing that I want to talk about, and that's the Billet Spark Industries steering wheel. Very, very fancy steering wheel, all made of billet. It feels very premium, leather wrapped, obviously simple black leather wrap with a black stitch for this interior, but there's all sorts of varieties of colors that we do them. They tend to match the exterior of the truck. You can adjust it by adjusting the steering column, that's nice. Behind that is then the Dakota digital dash, so a full digital instrument cluster. And before I talk about technology, I mentioned a second ago this kind of wood grain paneling. That's also around the instrument cluster, which looks fantastic. But let's talk about the features of that instrument cluster. So Dakota Digital, what they make is a new digital version of the instrument cluster. So it looks old school, but actually it operates like a modern electronic instrument cluster. Final thing to notice on this side is going to be the light switch, and that, again, because it's a heritage, has these custom billet fittings rather than these just being plastic and OE style. This is all billet aluminum made here in-house. Let's talk about this bench seat really quickly. Very comfortable, back support. It has what we call our wingback design series kind of stitch pattern here, which is nice. And you're going to notice there's a little detail because it's a heritage, and that is this woven leather insert that's at the top. I love also the fact that the gear gaiter or the shift boot has been finished in the black leather as well. You could have just left that as rubber, you could have done nothing with it, but this finish is really, really cool. Moving on up to where you control your AC and your infotainment, you do have both of those things in this truck. Again, heritage package, so double DIN touchscreen Alpine system. That's connected to a Focal speaker system, super high-end audio, Bluetooth connectivity, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's all wireless, easy to use like a modern car or truck, and sounds amazing. Above that is an AC system by Vintage Air, brand new AC system, blows super cold, super hot if you need that, all year round, works very well even in very, very warm climates like here in Florida. We have these trucks all over the world and all over the country. AC system in an enclosed cabin vehicle like this works very, very well. I love this interior. I'm going to say it again, it's black, so it should be simple, but it's just got so many little elements to it, like the wood and the stitch and all this stuff. It just brings together really, really nice. All right, so let's talk through the drivetrain on this vehicle. Before we do that though, this angle gives you a good idea of how big this truck is. I'm 5'10", 5'11", and you can see just how big the engine bay is, just how big the overall truck stance is. So anyway, let's talk about another big thing in this truck, which is the engine. This is a 6.2 litre V8. It's an LT1 crate engine directly from GM. We use it on all of our Chevrolet GM products, and for good reason. It's a super reliable, super powerful engine. Produces around 460 horsepower, tons of torque at the bottom end. So for a big heavy truck like this, that really helps get it off the line. And then of course you got all of that power, so you can comfortably do 70, 80, 90 up miles an hour on the highway, basically whatever you feel comfortable with. This thing will go in a super straight line as well, and that's thanks to the chassis underneath it. So this is a brand new 4-link coilover Roadster Shop chassis. We partner with Roadster Shop on all of the vehicle chassis that we build here, and for good reason. They just build an amazing product. So the chassis is great. It will handle really nicely at speed, in a straight line like I mentioned, but also in the corners, right? You want something that doesn't feel like it's got a ton of body roll. This 4-link coilover chassis enables that in a vehicle this large, which is nice. The engine is coupled to a 10-speed automatic transmission, the 10L80, and again, very, very simple. It's a crate, brand new 10-speed automatic transmission from GM. It's super quick, easily responsive, very reliable, easy to maintain, all of that good stuff. So that's what you get in terms of the package: chassis, engine, transmission. For brakes, we've got disc brakes all around. They're Woolwood Hydro Boosted disc brakes. And then just in general, like I always say on these videos, have a look at the detail in the engine bay. Look how clean this is. Obviously the Chevy product, there's a bit more space to work with than the Ford product than on the Broncos, but still, you could have just thrown the engine in. We didn't. All the fittings, the fixtures, all of the wiring and all of the plumbing in this engine bay is so nice. It looks like OE8 Plus, which is really, really cool. All right, so enough talking about the truck and looking at it. Let's go take it for a spin. And we're going to take this up the highway so you can see what it does. All right, so we're out in the truck, and it's been a little while since I've driven one of these K10s. and I wish it hadn't been, because these things are awesome. The 4-link coilover chassis underneath this vehicle just makes it so smooth. We're here rolling at 45, 50 miles an hour right now. Very easy. We're going to go out onto a quieter road so I can get the speed up a little bit more and have a lot of fun. But just, again, first impressions, having been away for a couple of weeks and not driven one of these for a while, just because we haven't had any available, they've all been customer vehicles. I love these trucks. I love the K5s, I love the C10s, but I really have probably a special place in my heart for these K10s. Slowing down now, we're clear behind us, clear in front of us. I'm not going to go to a dead stop, get to about a rolling 20 miles an hour, right there, and then full pedal depression, full throttle. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. We're over 60 miles an hour, comfortably over 60 miles an hour, so have to be a little bit careful. These things are just so fun, so stable. I didn't have to fight the steering at all while we were accelerating like that. Really nice. Very, very singular, linear throttle acceleration. Just not sketchy at all. Very controllable, but very fun, and of course, makes a lovely amount of noise. Also, visibility is insane. So that's something really nice too. Makes it easy to drive, makes it easy to park. You know where you are on the road. And of course, we have the backup camera there as well. So when you are parking, you've got those extra little creature comforts that you're used to in a modern truck. So we've walked around the truck, we've taken it for a quick spin. Honestly, this one is super special. I love it. I love the two-tone paint. I love the interior. The woven leather inside is probably my favorite thing on this truck, but regardless, the whole thing is just awesome. It's a super unique truck with that two-tone paint. We very rarely do satin paint. I think you see why. It's a very hard thing to do to get right, but when it works brilliantly. This one is available for sale, like I said right at the start of the video, so you can buy this and drive it home today. It does come with our normal 2-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, as well as it's applicable for finance. You can explore all of that and more information on this vehicle's listing on the website, which will be in the description below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.